Alright, this is the Coleman CT200u-ex, and coming out here in the garage, working on the taking a look at the carburetor. I looked all over this carburetor. I don't see anywhere on here where you can adjust the idle control, where it's set right here without having to take all this off again. You know, the throttle works, return springs works pretty good. See, it starts opening up there, but see, I want it to open up here. It opens up, it kind of opens up right there about half throttle, and then all of a sudden it's all the way open. So I'm not really sure what the hell, you know, I'm thinking about putting a spring right here. So I've got this little, went to Ace Hardware and bought a couple springs. And there's spring bins. See if I can get it out of here. I don't want to lose these things. They're not real strong springs. This one is probably the weakest one. So I thought maybe I would, I wanted to get one thin enough so I can stick it through this hole over here. So if I put it through here, oop, almost had it. That thing kind of hooked up in there. So if I hook that in there, what I want to do is have this close all the way, and I might be able to hook it around this this stud here. Let's see if we pull this out a little bit. Get it around this. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is, when I pull the, so I don't want to interfere. Now it looks like it's going to interfere with this. And you put this back on. This tube is supposed to fit. Like so. So you got this part here. This part goes in that tube there. I think this goes in here. So it looks like, I don't know, let me put this on here and see what it does. See what's in the way. It's hard to tell. I can't tell if it's opening up all the way. See, it's not. See, this is the throttle butterfly in here. It's just not. It's not closing all the way. Let's try it. It's still not closing. Unless I go up with it. Up over here. It's still not wanting to close. Pull this out a little. So you got this throttle hooked up to here. See, it wants to hold it open. And that's not what I want. Yeah. Get this wire in the way. Unless I run it over here. Run it. But I would have to take the whole damn gas tank off, and I'm not really sure I want to do that. I don't know if I can hook it on there or not. Some people were running a spring over here. I thought I did, but I didn't. Okay, I grinded this piece down right here. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little brass piece. It's like a stopper, and I couldn't get a spring in there because it was interfering some things over here. So I took this little grinding wheel and grinded this down a little bit. It was like you couldn't screw it in any. It looks like a screw, but you can't do anything with it. So what I did was I hooked the spring up right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's that for the there's a lever underneath the tank. I put the spring right here, and now when I open the throttle, it pulls this completely back now, and it actually throttle opens up better that with it. I'm doing it slowly, but it does return all the way to the stopper. And when before it was running at a higher RPM, so I believe that this is going to slow the engine down quite a bit as an idle, because it works with the spring here. Not real happy about the setup they got here, but that works. It comes back, slow down automatically. So what I'm going to do is, next step is just to put this all back together and take the clutch off and cut those pieces down and shorten the clutch spring and put it back together, and then see if the lower RPMs keeps the clutch from spinning. So I'm gonna have to stop it now. Maybe I can join these videos together, because I'm not going to sit here and let you watch me get all the pieces together. That's what I'm going to do right next. Alright, here we go. Here we go again. I had to take a break. Well, after I got all the springs on, checked everything out on here, I just decided to put this back together. Now I did find a different way. I got the butterfly on the carburetor, which it actually there's the choke here. Oop, I turn it off. The choke closes off, right? That closes the first butterfly right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. But inside, on the other side of the on the intake side, there's a butterfly for the throttle or the gas flow. So that's a butterfly too. So what was happening was, when I closed it off too far, and it wouldn't start. It wouldn't stall. It'd stall out. So I had to hold the throttle open a little bit and got it going. But then as soon as I let go of the throttle, it was closing it off too much. So you need a little bit of a little space in there, so a little bit of air flows through. Oh, and by the way, before I put this on, I might as well somewhat of a modification. Now normally these boxes are just solid, but I drilled 5 holes in here and 5 holes in here, added a little extra airflow, and you got airflow here and airflow through here. but I didn't think it was enough because I had drilled out the main jet a little bit, just a hair. So that's a little bit of a modification that I made. Okay, so in other words, in order to actually adjust the idle on this thing, you have to come up here to this part right here. What you do is you loosen this nut right here and you turn this out or in to adjust the throttle or the idle control. And what it does is it instead of the throttle, you holding the throttle back to get it to run more. This tightens that spring, you know, where it springs back, and basically that's how you adjust the idle. You can screw this in all the way or all the way out to lower the throttle, and that's how I managed to change the idle on it, get it down a little bit. I got it as low as I could, so I actually increased the idle on it just a little bit. There. So I'm not going to start it right now because this thing is kind of loud. So what I'm going to do is get this thing kind of put away here. This out of the way. Excuse my mess here. Got a new project coming up. I bought a 125cc. It's like the Honda CT motor, but it's a 125cc. So I'm gonna sling this thing around here. So what I'm going to do, might take this clutch off, sit here and watch me work, I guess. And by the way, I got these Hyper Tough tools. I know, Walmart. I don't know if I'm going to take this off or not. There's a little bit of play in here when I was running it. But when I got the idle down, I was able to grab this. It's really not that much. But I got a little bit of back and forth play in here. I think it's, take this off. Now when I took this clutch apart, I took out, I can't remember if there was a washer right there or not. I doubled the washer, but this thing, I think this bell is lopsided. See, it's kind of, but I'd have to take this off. See, if I take this, off, then this way. Oh shit, I just sprung it. That's not cool. That was not cool. Shit. Great. Shit. Well, I just lost that springy thing, which is not a good idea. Great. Well, alright, I just kind of lost my little spring activated holder for this thing, but quickly I improvised. Crazy of me. Alright, it's running. Alright, put it back in my head here. So, just And a whole assortment of nuts and bolts always helps. So all I need is that to go flying. Alright. Now I had put 2 on here. That seems to be grease is building up on it. So we'll put just the one back on. Put this back on here like so. Yeah, I don't like these snap ring pliers. Take the screw here. And I always want to make sure it's seated in there right. So now, put this back on. I have it going the opposite way, so alright, so okay. See, this thing is still, I think the shaft is kind of wore out. So I put these 2 small washers in here because it said fits inside that indent right there. You say you need some kind of play in there. See, there's still a lot of play in there. See, I don't know. A little bit of play right there, but you see, we shouldn't have that much play in there. I don't know how much play you're supposed to have. It's kind of a little wobbly here, so I don't know. I think I'm just gonna have to order another max torque clutch and just replace this one, because it's gonna fall apart, I think. I tried to fix it and get it working, and so I don't know. Well, that's what you get when you get cheap Chinese crap, you know. So well, anyways, I hope this came out. Put this back on so I don't lose it. I only got one of these. I use those self-drilling bits a lot. So I think I'm just gonna call it a night. But as far as the I got the idle fixed on here, and all I got here is to test this thing here. I can get this my neck massager. Get bad neck. My neck gets all out of whack sometimes. Alright, so what we got here, tester. Now we got 12 volts. That's positive. This is positive. 12 volts. Okay, I do have a shit. Oh. I have one-way diode, but there it is. Now, I should be able to find out this one-way diode works. This is a one-way diode. Now, it should register okay, so from here to here, no power goes through. So I put it on this side. From here to here, I got 12. So the flow is this way. So the flow goes through here, right to here, 12 volts. So the flow is going this way. But if I flip these around, flow is no. So what I'm going to do is, this thing has the ability to charge the battery. So this thing here will give it the ability to charge. So basically, I can run a lead from here, say from here, what did I say? It's coming through here. So the terminal down here is down here. It runs up. So I hook that up directly through here, the positive wire, and then run this through to the positive wire here, and then because I disconnected it, it's the one that ran the headlight. That's the only one it is. And when you start it up, the headlight comes on. Well, that's charging. So when you run it at full blast, your headlight's brighter. It gets brighter and brighter. So what my theory is, when you're running this thing, running the lights, it's running off the battery here. You got the headlight and tail light here. It's running off the battery. But when you're driving the thing, this thing will charge the battery, because you constantly use the juice, so it's just going to put juice back into the battery. That's the theory. So this is a one-way diode. Let's see if this one is. I found this one of my drawers. Put this on. This is actually negative. This is negative. So let's see that. Okay, you got that. So let's see if this is a one-way. Flip this around. No, it's not a one-way. So that is not a one-way. I'm not really sure what it is. Can't remember what it came off of. But this is not a one-way. This is my junk drawer. My micro switches, and I do I work on RC stuff too. For some reason, I can't find my soldering iron. It's around here somewhere. So this one-way diode is going to go in here when I'll eventually hook up the charging system. But in the meantime, my charger. So that'll be all. Probably see what I have to edit this video. It's kind of screwed up. Anyways, it's going on 16 minutes. It's going to be a long video, but that's all I got for now. But I hope you got a little information out of this, and don't do what I did with the snap ring pliers. Let it sling across this side of the floor around here somewhere, and I'll find it when I sweep. So, like, share, and subscribe, please. Thank you.